live in? Do you want a state that is going to go out and prey on its own citizens, seek to addict its own citizens in order to generate revenue for the Annapolis budget? Just realize, in order to make $600 million in revenues for the state, you also have to make $600 million for the gambling industry, because they get their share before the state gets theirs. And in order to reach those numbers, we're going to have to addict 10, 12, 15,000 Marylanders.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about just ordinary players of slot machines that go and play, as bad as that might be. We're going to have to create new addicts in Maryland. And for goodness sakes, what is our state government doing supporting that as a business? Our great state, which is so strong economically, has come to us, our leadership, and said, this is all we have to offer. Sorry, there's no alternative. It's either slots or the alternative, nothing. And I think that the citizens of Maryland should do what the citizens of our country is going to do someday. I mean, the frustration and the anger that Americans have all across the country reading about this bailout at the national level that they're not entitled to, that they're paying for, all the money going to the people that profited from the debacle that they created. Well, in Maryland, I think we should get a little bit angry, too.
Yeah.
At a small number of leaders, a tiny group in Annapolis, that have said, we know better, we're not going to let you be involved, we're going to dictate to you high taxes, we're going to just jam it down your throats, we're going to give you high debt, we're going to borrow our way into great vulnerability, and now we're going to come, the same people, and we're going to give you slot machines because it bails out our friends in the national gambling industry. And I hope, I really fervently hope, that you'll reach out to your friends and neighbors. You'll reach out to your community. You'll tell them this is the wrong direction to go. You'll tell them Maryland did this 40 years ago, and we learned that it was a debacle. Tell them that this is a wrong economic direction to go. It will not lead to prosperity. And it certainly will not lead to family values. Thank you all very much for being here. God bless. Vote no on question 2.
Thank you much. Let me ask a couple questions, if I might.
Sure.
One of the things...
Sorry, I got excited up here when I came in. You can feel the spirit. Like you go into one of your constituents' homes. Delegate Smeagol knows this. You can almost immediately feel what's going on.
Yeah.
And what kind of a family there is there. And I just want to applaud you because I feel a great spirit here tonight in this church.
Brother Franchot, let me ask you a question now. We keep hearing from the governor and those powers that be, if we do not, or the citizens do not vote, and really it's just like they're shoving it down our throats, if the citizens do not vote yes on this question 2, that 2 things are going to happen. Services are going to be cut, taxes are going to go up. Now, how do you, now this, your world is that, so talk to us about that.
First of all, as you know, the record tax increase was passed less than a year ago. It's supposed to cure the deficit. Instead, we still have billion-dollar deficits as far as the eye can see. So that was a colossal failure. It hurt the economy as we were going into the recession to have a record tax increase. So when they say you're going to have high taxes, I don't even think this administration will dare raise taxes. They've tried that. It's been a huge flop and a disaster. The question about whether services will be cut, we are going to have to reform state spending. State spending has doubled in the last 10 years. We have never examined the $30 billion budget from top to bottom, ever in my 22 years in public life. In fact, it's not going to be discretionary. We are going to be mandated by external economic events to go and reform state spending. Services are going to have to be prioritized. They're going to have to be, your tax dollars are going to have to be spent smarter, more effectively, more efficiently. So there will be cuts. We made cuts this week. We're going to make cuts in December. There'll be more cuts in January. Those cuts will come regardless of whether slots are approved or not approved. Slots are irrelevant to that because the deficit is that high and that big. So this scare talk of A, your taxes will go up, or B, your services will be cut, simply is that. It's scare talk in order to push you into voting against your better instincts, because everyone's skeptical about slots. So, Pastor Phillips, it's a good question, but from an economic standpoint, if you like high taxes, you're going to love slot machines. Because what happens is the day of reckoning will be delayed. Slots are approved. The out-of-control spending in Annapolis, which is at the root of this problem, will be emboldened, and they'll spend more rather than less. And as we go into this, unfortunately, long and deep recession, we will end up with a very serious situation. We need to control the spending now. And slots is going in the wrong direction. So don't believe those TV ads. When we get our TV ads up on our side, believe ours, because ours are going to be truthful.
Okay, so what you're really saying is the budget's going to be trimmed anyway.
Regardless of whether slots are approved or not, the figures are that we will have billion-dollar deficits as far as the eye can see, even with slots. And the reason is that we have had this out-of-control spending. When I mentioned this to the governor, he turned to me and said, well, it can't hurt to have slots, thinking, every little bit of revenue is helpful. And I responded, Governor, it will hurt, because slots are a predatory, addictive, damaging form of revenue generation. And why would you bring pain to individual Marylanders like that? I mean, think of 15,000 addicts, the domestic abuse, the alienation of their kids, the guilt that largely men, frankly, feel when they gamble away their family's financial security. Thousands and thousands of Marylanders will go through that in order to get this paltry revenue for the state and this huge windfall for the gambling companies. So it's a bad deal for our state.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, brother. Appreciate that.